Hi, let's do the second video in 2 days. Try and actually get this thing going again. Not as cold an evening today, although I mean our temperature's sort of between 0 and 10 degrees maximum for the day. But anyway, I grabbed a couple of things. I forgot that I just built this one a couple of days ago. I just got another one of these Airfix Buccaneers, and I just felt like building it exactly as I did long ago in the 70s. No paint, building it somewhat nicely, you know, trying to do these joints, which are straight lines on this thing. So it's really a bad way to join the Buccaneer, but I mean, I guess there's not much option. And that I didn't make that swivel because the joint is awful. I got that tailpiece on reasonably nicely, but I wasn't trying to make it by any means a very good model. I don't want to use filler or anything. I think I got it reasonably symmetrical. The one wing at the bottom got quite a gap, but I was focused only on trying to get a good match on the joints so that the outermost pieces match as I'm gluing the halves together, and then when I glue them onto the fuselage, onto these other bits of the wings, whatever gap ends up being there, well, that's not the wing's fault, because it matches up that side very nicely and it was glued on properly. That one's good. The arrestor hook does move. This part I tried to make it a little bit more robust. I put in a little bit of bracing there. So it's not bad. Does it even stand? No, I didn't put weight in, so it does tip over, but I'm putting it on a stand in the room there. I will do decals. Yeah, just a little bit of something to keep my hands busy, cleaning off the parts, trying to get good joints. I did sit for quite a number of hours, you know, really holding, because it's not a good fit at all, really pushing that as it was drying. You see that nose there? It's a bit of a weird shape. You see this curve under there? It's probably not very good at all, the way they made this kit. Very, very elementary, and I don't regard it as one of their better kits by any means, but it's okay, not bad. So that one I did. And I just brought this out so that you can see the parts for that 1804 steam locomotive. A lot of those gears, and I cleaned up every single one of those teeth, because you know that when it comes out of the mold, all of those little fine pieces, they've all got little sort of, you know, molding ridges on them, and when it's such fine parts like this, it actually stands out way more than you'd expect. So cleaning of every single edge on there, deburring every single edge on every little rod and part in there. That's the flywheel. These bolted side pieces to the boiler are quite nice and detailed, and we can do some interesting weathering there. This main part needs this main part of the boiler needs filling there with those sink marks, but I did spend a fair bit of time trying to get at the best joint possible. So you can see along there, getting it nice and even there, but then you do end up with that slight molding problem, but that's easy enough to fill. So I'm quite happy with the way that's come out. A little bit of work to clean that up, which I will be doing shortly. So last night I did this part, which ends up being quite that's just two halves joined together, but it's a long part, and it's quite a mission to ensure that you're getting no shift in the halves like that as you're holding it together, and also not longitudinal shift, making sure that remains as perfect as possible, which I got. So you're sort of sitting there and taking a little bit of sandpaper, getting off the edges so that you can actually see and feel exactly the roundness, because when you've got that little bit of glue coming out, it's a little bit difficult to actually, you can think you've got it perfectly and then later you realize you don't. So there's virtually no filling to be done anywhere on this piece. Maybe a slight bit over there due to molding imperfections, but pretty good. Still quite a number of parts to clean. You know, it's got a lot of little parts. Still a lot to clean, and then gradually spraying can take place. And as I say, I'm not going to remotely try and do accurate colors. I'm just going to choose interesting looking colors there. And it does come with this base, which you can put batteries in. It can even be motorized, but I'm not going to bother with that. I just want the basic steam engine standing there in a very nicely weathered state. Now, I highly doubt that this beam engine, which I'll speak about shortly, is of the same scale. In fact, it surely couldn't be. Which means that I can't do a diorama with both of these in, except if I implied some form of perspective occurring in the image. I suppose I could. I mean, it's not impossible that I could do a box that makes it look like you've got quite a deep room, and then have the steam engine at the back with the beam engine in front. But that seems like a little bit of a waste to hide the steam engine at the back. So quite a nice model. Gives you a good idea there. And then the beam engine, which one can do quite a nice weathering of the very large pieces, which I don't even know I mean, that's obviously the flywheel, but I don't know what that rocking piece is called. This needs to be glued together. That's three pieces there. Lots and lots of sanding and cleaning off to get that looking like a nice metal surface. And still a lot of sanding to be done. So this is another one of those halves which I need to do and get right. But all in all, this is not a, it's not a model with tons of parts. Actually, quite a recommendable model, to be honest, this Airfix beam engine. It does suffer from things like that, but I don't know if those sink marks will always be visible. So there's one sink mark there, one over there, and then 3 around there. But on some of these things, they might be at an angle which they're either covered or you don't see it. So you don't need to necessarily feel that everything needs to be filled. But I would recommend that. A lot less cleaning than that one. But we'll see how that one looks when it's finished. Might be actually quite a recommendable one as well. There's also the 4-stroke engine by Airfix. I don't have that. And there's another one, and I can't remember what it is. I do want to do this restoration somewhat soon, because it's not going to be. I'm not going to go to town on it. I'm just going to get everything back together, paint it, and that's it. It really deserves that quick restoration. So I might actually be getting to this one soon, since there's not a whole lot to be done. I mean, it does have a lot of bracing around the engines. I'll treat that somewhat separately. I hope I can find all of these braces between the bottom and that horizontal stabilizer there. I have to go and look through the bag and do a spray on that soon. So this last model, and there's the name, the Aston Martin Ulster, Matchbox 132nd. I don't know if you've built these 132nd. They're not very easy to come by anymore. The reason I've got this one is I built it a long time ago, and I just want to build another one in the same light. But this one is going to get painted to the best of my ability. I have mentioned this before, and I haven't decided whether I'm going to de-chrome these, but often with some of these models, let me just take that part out. Yeah, so that's actually a good indication there that while it does look nice and shiny, it looks just too singularly shiny to really fit in with the scale of the model. And that's why you do a bit of de-chroming to just tone this down, repaint it in a more sedate metal color. I mean, it's, there's sort of a couple of approaches there. You can just go with that shiny and so be it. If you take that off and you dry brush that grill, then of course you can get the black, a black view coming through from there, or you can take that off completely and put a little mesh into there. Now, I mean, that's all, how much work do you really want to do on a model? Might be worth it. It's not the most difficult, but one mustn't underestimate fitting a grill into there either. Haven't made up my mind on that, but I do want to not leave this one hanging around forever. But it does come back to a particular point. Now remember, yesterday when I was talking about, I didn't want to put this body onto the that other Tamiya chassis. I wanted to build something. Now those of you that would be a little bit more alert on certain aspects of what I say would think, when is this guy actually going to do all of these things that he would like to do? And this is the biggest problem in my modeling. So when I say I want to get to this, I actually really have this set of models which I don't want to just hang around forever. I really want to get to them. And I was thinking about that plan about the Ford GT40. So I don't have a Ford GT40 body, and that would be a highly technical task to actually achieve that. I mean, yeah, I could maybe try and buy one of those clear bodies. I haven't looked for a Ford GT40, not sure if one exists. But the problem is that I do have so many of these things that I would love to get to, and it's not happening. When I sit at the beginning of the year and I make a list, and I list about 40 to 50 builds that I'd like to do, and it's obvious that one's not going to do that. You're not even going to do half of that. So you thin it down, 25, and then how many in the year do you actually do? 12 if you're good. That's me, of course. Some of you do get to a whole lot more. And this is this constant sort of battle between how many might actually get finished, how much I'd really love to finish, versus how many boxes I open and dabble with a little bit. I know some of you are very good with finishing your models. I'm almost like a bit, ADHD with wanting to open this, look at that, work a little bit on this one, work a little bit on that one, instead of just saying, right, there's only 10 builds for the year and get to them. So I have no answer for that one yet, because everything that I say is not going to happen. I could promise to to work on 10 models, and we know that next week I'll open another 5 boxes. I suppose with this one I will then just end up putting this body on provisionally, because all my attention is going to the Phantom builds and some of the smaller builds that are waiting to happen. That is still, by the way, the intention. I'm not putting off those at all. The Mustangs, the Phantoms, and as soon as those Phantoms are done, the 132nd Phantom, first of the 132nd Phantoms, which not sure if it would get finished this year. I guess that's looking less likely, but I think it'll be the model that's getting the most attention. So once the other 2 Phantoms are done, the 132nd Phantom will be the model that gets the most attention. Anyway, thought I will talk about all of this. I'm still busy cleaning parts, so sort of that's my main attention right at this time is I'll do a bit of filling and just cleaning of more parts. I might get to some spraying this weekend, but I wouldn't hold thumbs for that, and I suppose I could try and look for the parts for this and just see if that can actually start getting a little bit of spraying. Hope you guys are modeling well. So some of you are sitting at 30 degrees Celsius plus, I'm hearing in the comments. A very, very hot time in some parts of the USA, Canada. Not sure what's happening in Britain at the moment. And I would not be able to sit and model in 30 degrees plus either. So I suppose I shouldn't complain about 0 to 10 degrees. So if you're getting modeling done, good. I will go and clean parts now, and I'll put the decals onto this one in a day or two. Hope they stay on. I'll use well, no, actually I won't use anything. I'll just hope that the Airfix glue is going to be all good. Okay, maybe tomorrow we'll get another video. Happy modeling, everyone. Cheers.